Welcome children, take out your civics book. Elections and Election Commission. Today's topic is the President of India. The President of India. Elections of the President of India is another example of indirect election. Now, indirect elections is held in case of choosing a President of India. The President is elected by an electoral college consisting of the elected members of both the houses of the parliament and the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state. Now, how is the President of India elected? The President is elected by the electoral college. And what does it consist of? It consists of the members of both the houses of the parliament and even the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state. Three reasons were given for adopting the method of indirect election in the case, and in this case what happened? Three reasons are given for adopting the indirect election. First, the power really resided in the council of ministers headed by the prime minister and the union parliament and not in the president as such. Now, first is that the real powers are vested in the hands of the council of ministers headed by the prime minister and the union parliament but not in the president. Therefore, it would be anomaly if the president is to directly elect by the people, and so it is anomaly if the president is directly elected by the people and is not given any real power. Second, tremendous loss of energy, time and money would be involved in a direct presidential election. Now, if presidential election is held directly, what will happen? There will be too much amount of time, means loss of time, energy and money will be wasted. Thirdly, it would be difficult to involve electoral machinery for an election in which millions of people have to participate. Thirdly, what would happen? It would become very difficult to involve in an electoral machinery for the election in which millions of people had to take part. Now, the Vice President of India. The Vice President is elected by an electoral college consisting of the members of both the houses. Now, Vice President of India. Vice President, how is he elected? He is elected by an electoral college which consists of the members of both the houses of parliament. Like the President of India, the Vice President is also elected by the method of proportional representative with a representation with a single transferable vote. Now, like the President of India, Vice President, he is also elected by the methods of proportional representation with single transferable vote. However, in the case of Vice President, the electoral college does not include members of state. However, in case of Vice President, what happens? Electoral college, they do not include any members of the state assembly. And evaluation of methods of election. Third, their advantages and disadvantages. Both methods have their own advantages, and now both methods what they have their own advantages and even the disadvantages. The advantages of direct election are there. Now, what are the advantages of direct election? Now, first is it stimulates the interest of the people in election. First, what it does, it looks after the interest of the people in elections. Second is that the person elected are answerable to the electoral as a whole. Its main disadvantage is that the masses, under the influence of emotions of religious leaders, may reject someone who has the qualities and abilities required for that job. Now, second, what happened? The persons who are elected, they remain answerable to the electorate as a whole. And what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is that the masses, that means the common people, comes under the influence of the emotion of religious leaders. They may reject someone who has the qualities and the abilities required for that job. The advantages of direct election. Now, what are the advantages of direct election? It reduces the heat campaign. It is suited to elections in which constituencies are unduly large and in which millions of people had to participate, such as presidential election. Now, first is that it reduces the heat of the election campaign, and second, that it is suited to the election where constituencies they are too large and in which millions of people they have to participate, such as the presidential election. Its main disadvantage. Now, what are the disadvantages of this indirect election? That is, it leads to the horse trading or evil practices. Now, what it leads? It leads to the horse trading and even the evil practice, that is bribery, because final electors are very few in number. In brief, the suitability of a method would depend on the purpose for which it is used. It is made use of the direct method of election is. Now, briefly, it is said that the suitability of the method, it depends on the purpose on which it is made. The direct method of election, it is used more popular. Because of more democratic, it is based on the idea that everyone should have the equality and should be involved in making important decisions. Now, kinds of constituencies. Constituencies is a well-defined territorial area which is called upon at the time of election to election someone to represent it in the Lok Sabha or the state assembly or the local body as the case may be. Now, constituency, what is it? It is a well-defined territorial area and is covered upon the time of election to elect one representative in it to the Lok Sabha and the state assembly or to the local body. Usually, we elect our representative from territorial constituency. Usually, what we do? We elect our representative from territorial constituency. In other words, the country or the state or the town is divided into number of geographical areas for the purpose of now otherwise what we do, this country or the state, it is divided into number of geographical areas for the purpose of representation. Thus the union territory of Delhi is divided into 7, and so the union territory of Delhi, it is divided into 7 constituencies, each sending one member to the Lok Sabha, and each constituency what they do, they send one member to the Lok Sabha. Now, single member constituency. A single member constituency is one which returns only one representative. Now, single member constituency is what? It is one which returns only one representative from the area. In this case, the whole country of the state or any other territory is divided into a large number of constituencies or area as of almost equal size. Now, in this case, what happened? The whole country or the state or any other territory, it is divided into large number of constituencies, so the areas of almost equal size. Each constituency is called upon to choose one representative. Now, each constituency, what is called upon? It is called upon to choose one representative. Most countries follow the simple majority system. Now, most countries what they do? They follow the simple majority system, which is usually referred to as the first past or the post system. Now, what it is really referred to? It is usually referred to first past or the post past system. It is the system in which winners is the person with more votes than any other country. Now, it is the system in which winners are the such person which gets more vote than the other candidate, than any other candidate, even though he may have received only a small proportion of the total number of votes. Now, even what happened? And he received small proportion of the total number of votes. Supposing 4 candidates contest election, they may receive votes in the following time. Suppose what happened? 4 candidates who are contesting the election, they receive votes in the following order. And now take out your diary, right? Election and Election Commission. Topic: President of India. Explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class.